What's going on, everyone? So, Sarah Michelle Gellar spoke on the recent Buffy revival. This is from Who Magazine. This is now the, second time that Sarah Michelle Gellar has talked about a Buffy revival. And how the first time she talked about how she was very reluctant. She wanted kind of the art piece to stay what it was, but has since then kind of came around to it and has changed her tune and perspective on it. But what she had to say was, I think they will get someone younger if she does come back. But if people think that I can still save the world and kick butt, I'm okay with that. I'm happy with how we ended things with Buffy. I love playing her, and I feel proud of what she stood for, what she still stands for. She wasn't just the girlfriend or the token female, all things we take for granted in film and television now. I feel like Buffy was a part of that positive change. So, again, Sarah Michelle Gellar said herself that she likely believes that, they'll probably go a younger route, that it'll probably be a revival. However, you could look at Sarah Michelle Gellar, and she even says, like, hey, if they still think that I could be it, then fine, I'll be it. She likes how it ends. I mean, honestly, if we're being honest, they'll probably go a direction where, there's a new Slayer that comes and then tell that story. But you could still use Sarah Michelle Gellar. You could still have her involved and incorporated and stuff. I'm not like super like into the like lore and stuff. Like, I know there's all kinds of like little details and all kinds, like there's like diehard Buffy fans out there that know like every little detail, every little nuance. But I do know it's something like didn't like Buffy's not like the true Slayer anymore. Something along those lines, right? Because she died, and then that's how you had like what's her name, Faith and stuff in that, right? Like and Elijah Dushku, that's the name. There we go. I was trying to think of her real name, not the Faith, obviously, but I was trying to think of her real name. And like you had like the other Slayer and stuff. So you've had like the fact that she died and then kept coming back, like she wasn't like the true Slayer of legend, right? A new one came to birth. So you could do something where a new one has came, right? And again, correct me if I'm wrong. Like I said, I'm not like super immersed in the lore. Have I seen Buffy? Did I watch Buffy? Yeah, of course, everyone did. Even people that, even if you don't want to admit it, you did, right? Like we all did. Buffy was great, right? But I'm not like die hard like some other people are. But I would love to see the show back. And if the show does come back, guess what? I'm going to watch that too. Right. And, if they can do something where the Slayer comes, the true Slayer comes, and then now you have Buffy, who's like maybe a mentor, plays like Giles, right? Like that could be cool. Like have something like that where she's kind of the one mentoring, and, you still get to see her kick some butt a few times here and there, right? Like that'd be cool. Like, every couple episodes, like, yeah, it's still main focus on the Slayer, whoever the new Slayer is, but you get to see Buffy, who is maybe the mentor or is training the Slayer or whatever, and then you get to see her kick some butt from time to time too. So it's kind of nice little callback, kind of nice little things. Like, I think there's ways to be creative, right? Creative writing, creative storytelling, right? Like there's a lot you can achieve. There's a lot of direction that you can go. There's a lot of things that you can kind of build upon if you have the right writers in the writing room coming up with the correct stories. And I think you have an opportunity to have even some nice little callbacks and stuff. Obviously we had all the like little spin-offs, like the Angel and stuff. So, could you bring back several of the characters and kind of have different tie-ins and connections to the modern, to the past, right? Like, see a lot of shows doing that. My only concern is, like, I think it has to be done right. I talk about it all the time, right? Not everything needs a remake. Not everything needs a reboot. Not everything needs to be recreated. Not everything has to be a legacy sequel or a legacy series or whatever. But I do think Buffy, given the type of story that it was, I think that you could make it make sense, right? Like there's some shows and series and movies and stuff where you're just like, why are you touching that? Like, leave that alone. Like Buffy's something like the legend and lore, and then the legend of the Slayer and all that stuff. Like that's something that's always been like I think you keep the Buffy story arc over. I think you let it end the way it ended. And then you have a new story, and then just incorporate Sarah Michelle Gellar and her Buffy into it. right? And, like, kind of go that route, right? Or, because, I mean, you could make her, or do you make Sarah Michelle Gellar a different character entirely? Right? Because, I mean, if you're going to call the show Buffy and, could you really have two Buffys, maybe? Or, like, what if it's, like, her daughter or something like that? And, that's the justification. And her daughter, and she never thought her daughter was going to end up becoming a Slayer. Right? Like, that could be a cool way to do it. Like, her daughter was just a normal daughter. She didn't think anything of it. She's not the chosen Slayer anymore. So, she figured it was safe, it was good. And then all of a sudden, her daughter becomes chosen. And then now her daughter's got to fight. And so, Buffy, the original Buffy, isn't going to let her daughter not, like, she's going to help her, right? So what does she do? She helps her, right? Like, I think you could maybe do something creative like that, do something unique like that. I just, you just don't want to see them botch it. But I do, like, like they had some scary, like, what are the silent ones? The whisper one, like the ones that like didn't talk, like those monsters were like terrifying. Like they had some like really great monsters and characters and vampires and stuff like that. If you could bring maybe something back to where, you kind of use modern technology, modern makeup, modern effects that you could potentially, shove out a really solid film here or series, right? And I mean, it kind of fits the modern times with them constantly remaking and rebooting stuff and things like that. But hey, Sarah Michelle Gellar's husband, Freddie Prinze Jr., he's going back to Do I Know What You Did Last Summer, right? Why not have, Sarah Michelle Gellar return and reprise her role as Buffy and, maybe tell some stories, tell some stuff? Or like, what if you did something where, I don't know, because Buffy was always like falling in love with vampires. What if she had like a half vampire, half human kid or something? Like, I don't know. Like, again, even like the dumbest idea, if properly executed and the story told, can actually go a long way, right? You could actually do some stuff and make some noise with that. So I just think it depends on, how they want to approach it, how they want to go about it. You got to have the right writers. Because again, like there's a lot of like die-hard Buffy people that if you botch this, it's probably not going to go too well, so, and there's just so much mythos and lore and all that stuff in surrounding Buffy and so many little details and stuff that, somebody like me that's just, casual watcher that just watched it, when it was on and stuff, just didn't pick up on and notice, right? Like I always see, cause I'm always like, doing research and stuff like that to find out like what's coming and stuff to make videos. And I always see people talking about Buffy and, it's like every once in a while, I'll just be like, oh, that's new. I didn't even catch that, or I didn't even know that, right? Like, so, just it's cool to kind of see all that stuff and reprise it, and and again, if you're gonna do a new series, great, do the new series, but you got to make sure it's done correctly. You got to make sure it's done right. You cannot drop the ball in that regard. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you like the idea of a potential Buffy revival? Do you think no, stay away from a Buffy revival? There's some things that shouldn't be touched. Do you have any like specific things that you'd like to see in a Buffy revival? How do you think they should approach the story? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it either way. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. We enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate you. See you in the next one. Thank you.